What's up guys, Sam Adams here and welcome to The Drop, which is actually a weekly series every Monday here on my channel where I go through some of the top video game releases of the week and let you guys know what you might want to keep an eye out for if you're looking to pick up something new to play. And this week it's a pretty packed week as far as game releases go. There's a lot of good stuff coming out, so I thought we would go ahead and jump right into it right after we take a moment to thank all of the individuals that have served the United States Armed Forces on this Memorial Day. It's a pretty awesome thing that you guys do to protect the freedoms of others even though you don't even know them. It baffles me every time I think about it, and I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for making that decision to serve with your life. But as of right now, let's go ahead and jump into The Drop. First off, we've got Magicka II coming to the PS4 and PC, and this is a pretty interesting looking game. It's got the camera angle of League or Dota 2 and a similar kind of gameplay, but what really surprised me about this game is how great it looks like it's going to fit on the PlayStation 4. There are tons of different spells you can figure out, and pretty much the plot of the game is that you're a wizard and your wizard friends have to go and save the land of Midgard from a certain evil. It's kind of a generic sounding plot, but I'm sure there are some twists along the way that keep it interesting. Really, what shines in this title is the gameplay, it seems like, and like I said, it actually looks pretty good on PS4, and considering it's not really a high graphics title, you know, there's nothing really driving it. It's not like The Witcher or say Bioshock or something big like that. It looks like it actually is going to work really well on consoles. So if you're looking to have a League style game, maybe a little bit of RPG action this week, then you might want to look into Magicka II, coming to the PS4 and PC for $15, which is actually a pretty good deal for this kind of title. Next up, return to Street Fighter with Ultra Street Fighter 4 coming to the PS4, and this is pretty much in anticipation of Street Fighter 5 coming to the console next April. But this version of Street Fighter, which was originally released back in 2008 and has had several iterations since then, includes 39 fighters, 4 of which are new, all of the DLC that's ever been released for this game, and of course it's running in 60 frames a second at 1080p, so that's pretty good, or at in 1080p at 60 frames a second, something like that. It looks really good. So pretty much there are a couple of improvements that are made through this game. Number one, PS3 fight sticks drivers are included on the disc, so you can actually use them on the PlayStation 4, and I made a video talking about that up in that corner over there, so please click on that, give that a watch. I thought it was a pretty good video myself, but that's an awesome feature because it shows that the gamers are being cared for. You know, they're not trying to rip off the people playing the game, and that's always pretty cool. There were also some reports of lag in the PS3 version of this game between the controller and the console itself. That has been eradicated. There is no sign of that whatsoever, and that's kind of awesome. This game is being called a love letter to fans, and I think that's exactly what it is, especially considering that it is at a price point of $24.99 for all of this awesome content. That's really not bad for all of the DLC and stuff you are getting with this title. So if you're looking to brush up your skills before Street Fighter 5 comes out next April, or if you're just looking for a good fighting game on the PS4, this one is definitely for you, and again, it's only $25, so why not? Next up, Octodad Deadliest is coming to the PlayStation Vita, and I think that it's going to be really at home there. Pretty much, it's one of those weird indie games, a lot like Goat Simulator, and you play as an octopus who is living an everyday life. He's got a family, he does errands, he has work and a job, and it's a really interesting, funny little quirky game. But as far as the gameplay goes, it feels a lot to me like a combination of Katamari Damacy, I believe I said that correctly, and Mount Your Friends, that funny little weird Xbox Live indie game, and it just works really well. It's also kind of what's that one game? I Am Bread. It kind of has that feeling to it of what I hear. I actually haven't played it on the PS4, but considering it's a cross-buy title now, I might have to give it a shot. One of the interesting things about this is that co-op is coming to the PlayStation Vita version, where pretty much you have two people on each side of the PlayStation Vita, and they use the back and front touchpads as some additional control, so it's kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that works, and I actually do plan on looking up some videos of people playing that. It's just an interesting new mechanic on how to take on co-op, but at $14.99 you can't really go wrong, especially since it's a cross-buy title with the PS4 version. And there really isn't a reason for you not to try this. It's just a funny little game. So if you're looking for something to kind of lighten up the mood in your gaming world if The Witcher's getting too much for you, you might want to check out Octodad Deadliest, which is available this week on the PlayStation Vita and has been available on the PlayStation 4 since last year sometime. And it took off with the community, and I think that it'll do the exact same thing on the PlayStation Vita. Next up, Game of Thrones Episode 4, Sons of Winter, coming to us from Telltale Games. And as I said in my notes, this game is available on pretty much everything under the sun. run. So you can pretty much play it on any phones, consoles, anything you've got, it will run it. And that's one thing that Telltale does really well. They are pretty much the king of RPGs at this point. If you're really into story-based narratives, this is the company to go with. They've got some awesome franchises and a lot more stuff coming out in the future. But as I said, this is episode 4 of 6 of the Game of Thrones series, but if you are not familiar with the world of Game of Thrones, you don't really have to worry. As long as you start from episode 1 in the Game of Thrones Telltale games, you should be good to go as far as plot goes, but of course, prior knowledge definitely helps you get a little bit more enthralled with the story. However, as they emphasize, it's not actually required. So if you're looking to get into this, you can buy a season pass for $30, which gets you all 6 episodes, or you can buy them individually for $5. Unfortunately, that doesn't really save you any money, considering, you know, $5 adds up to $30 if you buy all 6, but that's okay. Still a pretty good deal, not even the price of a full-fledged game by any means, so it's a pretty good sum of money to pay for this kind of thing. And as I said, Telltale is really good at telling a story, so if you're looking for something to cleanse that narrative palette, you might want to check out Game of Thrones this week. Finally, last but not least, we've got Splatoon coming to the Wii U, and this looks to be one of Nintendo's flagship titles for 2015. It's got amiibo support and a page on Nintendo.com, so you know that this game means business. Pretty much, if you want a description of the gameplay, the best way I can describe it is think of Sunset Overdrive Nintendo-ified. It makes it kind of childish, but still fun and cute and quirky, and it looks like to be that kind of thing. What really shocked me about this title is that it doesn't seem like it is too heavy on the single-player side of things. It's leaning heavily on the multiplayer offering, which is pretty much giant ink battles between you and another person online. That's kind of how it goes. You make as big a mess as possible, and that sounds like something that I could definitely get behind. The co-op looks really interesting because one person can use the screen on the Wii U gamepad while the other person uses the TV and a Pro controller, or I guess another gamepad would work as well, whatever controller you can use on the Wii U on the TV, and that means that both players get a full screen experience, so that's pretty cool. I appreciate it when companies do that kind of thing, but rumors are circulating of a 3DS version because of some faceplates that were leaked a couple of weeks ago. That would be pretty interesting. I could definitely see that working well with some augmented reality kind of thing, or just the Splatoon base game in general on the 3DS. Maybe they could work together with the Wii U version, but either way, if you want to get involved in Splatoon, on day 1 they were doing a multiplayer test, and I think they worked out a lot of kinks. So this game is coming out on Friday, as most Wii games do for some reason. I don't know, they just go against the flow, and it's going to be a flagship title, so it's going to be full price, but that is okay because it looks like it's going to be really interesting and a cool addition to the Wii U game collection. So there you guys have it. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop me a like down below and comment what games you'll be picking up this week. Does Splatoon look to be pretty interesting, or are you really into the Game of Thrones thing? Or perhaps you're just going to be checking out something else that's completely different and nothing I mentioned. Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to head over and check out some of my other videos. I upload new stuff like 4 or 5 days a week, so there's always something new for you to check out here on the channel when you drop by. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video, and happy Memorial Day to all of my US viewers. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.